Hello everyone. Welcome to Nanuya channel. Today, we're exploring a topic that many people experience but often struggle to put into words: emotional numbness. Have you ever felt disconnected from your emotions, like you're watching your life unfold from a distance? You're not alone. Emotional numbness is a protective mechanism that our minds and bodies sometimes use to cope with overwhelming situations. But what does it really mean? How does it affect us, and how can we work through it? Let's unpack it together in detail. First, let's define emotional numbness. It's that sense of feeling detached from your emotions, or even from the world around you. It's not just about sadness or emptiness. It's more like a void, where joy, sadness, anger, or excitement all seem muted or completely absent. Emotional numbness can manifest in different ways. Some people describe it as feeling like a robot, going through the motions of life without truly experiencing it. Others feel a sense of disconnection, as if there's an invisible wall separating them from their feelings, loved ones, or even themselves. It's important to note that numbness isn't inherently bad. It's a response, an indicator that something deeper is happening beneath the surface. This state is often a response to prolonged stress, trauma, or mental health challenges like depression or anxiety. Think of it as your brain hitting the pause button on feelings to shield you from emotional overload. While this can be helpful in the short term, long-term numbness can disrupt your well-being and relationships. So, what causes emotional numbness? While it can vary from person to person, there are a few common triggers. Trauma. Emotional or physical trauma can lead your mind to shut down emotionally as a defense mechanism. For example, survivors of abuse or accidents might experience numbness as their brain's way of managing overwhelming memories or feelings. Chronic stress. When you're constantly overwhelmed by stress, whether from work, family, or personal challenges, your brain may enter survival mode. This can dull your emotional responses to prevent burnout. Mental health conditions. Conditions like depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and even prolonged grief can contribute to emotional numbness. These conditions often create a sense of disconnection as part of their symptoms. Medication or substance use. Certain medications, such as antidepressants, can dull emotional responses as a side effect. Similarly, substance use or addiction can also impact your ability to feel deeply. Burnout. Experiencing prolonged physical and emotional exhaustion, often from overwork or caregiving, can result in feeling numb or indifferent. Understanding these causes can help us approach emotional numbness with compassion rather than judgment. It's a signal that your mind and body are trying to cope with something significant. Emotional numbness doesn't just affect how we feel. It can seep into every aspect of life. Let's break this down. Relationships. Emotional numbness can create distance between you and loved ones. You might struggle to express affection or empathy, leading others to feel disconnected from you. This can strain even the closest relationships. Work and creativity. When emotions are muted, it's hard to find inspiration or motivation. Tasks that once felt fulfilling might now seem meaningless or overwhelming. Self-care and daily routines. Even basic activities like cooking, exercising, or spending time with friends can feel like chores. This detachment can lead to neglecting self-care, creating a cycle of further disconnection. Physical health. Emotional numbness can also manifest physically. You might experience fatigue, sleep disturbances, or a lack of appetite. These physical symptoms can compound the emotional disconnection, making it even harder to break free. The tricky part is that numbness can create a feedback loop. You might feel detached, leading to avoiding situations that could help, like socializing or seeking therapy. This, in turn, reinforces the numbness. Breaking that cycle takes awareness, effort, and often support from others. Let me share a simple example to help illustrate this. Imagine Sarah, a 32-year-old graphic designer. She's been juggling deadlines at work, caring for her aging parents, and trying to keep up with her social life. Over time, she starts feeling less connected to her work. Projects that used to excite her now feel like a slog. When her friends invite her out, she declines, not because she doesn't want to go, but because the idea of socializing feels exhausting and meaningless. At night, she's either scrolling aimlessly on her phone or lying awake, staring at the ceiling. Sarah doesn't feel sad or happy. She just feels nothing. This is emotional numbness. Sarah's brain and body are signaling that the constant stress is taking a toll, and she needs to pause, process, and prioritize her well-being. If you're experiencing emotional numbness, it's important to know that healing is possible. Here are some strategies that might help. Acknowledge it. The first step is recognizing and naming what you're feeling, or not feeling. Journaling can help you track patterns or triggers that lead to numbness. Talking to someone you trust can also help you articulate your experience. Reconnect with your body. Physical activities can be a powerful way to reconnect with yourself. Yoga, walking in nature, deep breathing exercises, or even dancing can ground you in the present moment and help you feel more attuned to your physical sensations. Therapy and professional help. Therapists can help you unpack and process the underlying causes of numbness. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can help reframe negative thought patterns, while somatic therapies focus on the mind-body connection. Eye movement. Desensitization and reprocessing, EMDR therapy, is often helpful for trauma-related numbness. Mindfulness and meditation. Practices like mindfulness meditation can help you reconnect with your emotions in a gentle, non-judgmental way. Even a few minutes of daily practice can make a difference over time. Create moments of joy. Start small. Listen to music you love, watch a favorite movie, or spend time in nature. Even if big emotions feel out of reach, small positive actions can gradually rekindle your emotional connection. Lean on your support system. Don't be afraid to ask for help from friends or family. Sharing your feelings, or lack of feelings, can reduce the sense of isolation that often accompanies numbness. Practice patience. Healing takes time. Be gentle with yourself and celebrate small wins along the way. Progress is often gradual, but every step forward matters. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. Emotional numbness is not a flaw or failure. It's your mind's way of protecting you. But you don't have to stay stuck there. By seeking support and taking small steps, you can reconnect with your emotions and find a sense of balance again. If this episode resonated with you, or if you have your own story about emotional numbness, I'd love to hear from you. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Thank you for tuning in to Numbness Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who might benefit. Until next time, take care of yourself and be kind to your mind. The word inherently means something that exists as a natural, essential, or intrinsic characteristic of something. In this context, numbness isn't inherently bad, suggests that emotional numbness, by its very nature, is not fundamentally or automatically negative. Chronic stress refers to prolonged and continuous stress that persists over an extended period, often without adequate relief or resolution. It can stem from ongoing challenges in work, family, financial issues, health problems, or other demanding situations. Substance use refers to the consumption of drugs, alcohol, or other substances that can alter mental or physical states. In the context of emotional numbness, substance use can dull emotions or make it harder to connect with feelings. Burnout refers to a state of physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged and excessive stress. It often occurs when someone feels overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and unable to meet constant demands. Over time, burnout can lead to a lack of motivation, detachment from responsibilities, and, in some cases, emotional numbness as a way to cope with the ongoing pressure.